You know, the big question is, what is Canada Day going to be like next year here in Ottawa without the Snowbirds? Rumors have been going on within the community, and airshow organizers across North America are quietly being told that the Snowbirds will no longer be flying in the 2027 season. This is completely unacceptable at a time when we're being challenged with regards to our identity and our nationhood, that we're going to ground a symbol, an iconic symbol that represents unity and really truly represents the Canadian spirit. It's unacceptable, and it's unacceptable that the Liberal government has not come up with a plan to replace these jets. Now, I wrote to the minister several months ago, almost 6 months ago, and we received no response. Senator Batters brought this up in Senate, and there's been crickets. There has been no plan, absolutely no plan by the Liberals to replace the Snowbirds air demonstration team. And this is just another example of the way that the Liberals have been dealing with our military. And yeah, it's great that the military has received a well-deserved pay increase, but it's not just that. In order to keep our military going, they need equipment. And we've been waiting for over 10 years with the F-35, and we've seen this before with the EH-101. And what they're going to be saying is that they're going to pause this program. Well, in Liberal speak and political speak, pausing means it's permanent, and we will not have the Snowbirds. And the costs to absolutely revive these jets, to revive the team, and to lose the discipline and the corporate culture and the camaraderie and the professionalism that's handed down from year to year will be lost, and that can never be recovered, and it's costly. Recently, 2 years ago, the Liberal government cannibalized perfectly good Hawk jet trainers that had 26,000 hours of flying time left on their airframes. And they sent them to Borden when they should actually be used for fighter lead-in training, but we've dispersed that training program globally. We want to repatriate that, and those jets should have stayed here. But if they weren't going to be used for fighter lead-in training, they could have been a stopgap measure for the Tudors and for the Snowbirds. And recently, a couple of years ago, the Liberal government has spent $30 million in upgrading the Tudor jets to extend the life to beyond 2030. That means that it's more good money that's being wasted by the Liberal government and no plan. So if you pause the Snowbirds for 5 years, 3 to 5 years as they're saying, and you don't have a jet in place, and you've taken 10 years to buy the F-35, you know what, I'm sorry, but it's just not a credible story, and it's not a credible plan. So this is an SOS call to save our Snowbirds. It's time that Canadians get behind this iconic team. They've inspired us. They're there to inspire us. They've inspired other pilots. You know how we got the second female Snowbird pilot? Because she saw the first female Snowbird pilot flying over the skies of Quebec. So we need to keep this inspiration. We need to be proud of our nation. We need to be proud of our military. We need to stand behind our military, give them the proper equipment, keep the Snowbirds in the air until we get a replacement aircraft.
So shall I start in?
No. So first of all, I want to thank Fraser and the community in Moose Jaw for bringing this to our attention. It is very disconcerting to hear that the government is thinking about pausing the Snowbird aerial demo team. We know that this team is important to our recruitment measures, especially when we are still so short of fighter pilots and other pilots in the Royal Canadian Air Force. Out of the 97 different careers paths that we have and trades within the Canadian Armed Forces, 20 of them are in critical condition, and those include pilots. So this is a major recruitment tool. This is also part of our identity as Canadians. And this is reminiscent of when the Liberals tried to cancel the RCMP musical ride. So this is why we need to make sure that we protect things that we're so proud of as Canadians. As Fraser said, we're going to be here on Parliament Hill in 2027 if we don't have snowbirds flying over top of the Peace Tower. This is something that symbolizes who we are as Canadians. But again, don't forget that it was this Liberal government that talked about Canada being a post-national state. So it isn't at all surprising to see them throw away such major Canadian identity projects like the snowbirds from our society and culture. I can only say that this is, again, a result of the ongoing political games that the Liberals have been playing with the replacement of our CF-18 fighter jets. The longer that it takes to make the decision to buy the F-35s, the longer it's going to take to select what we're going to actually buy as our lead-in fighter training, and the longer it's going to be before we know what that aircraft is, train pilots on it, and hopefully buy enough of those to replace the Tudor aircraft that we have right now. But as Fraser said, as the champion for the snowbirds here on the Hill, that this is an SOS moment. Save our snowbirds, and we know that the snowbirds still have enough life in them with the upgrades that have taken place that they can fly past 2030. So let's make sure it happens. And now Pierre Paul-Hus is going to make comments en français.
Merci James, merci Fraser. Écoutez, c'est pas compliqué. Qui ne connaît pas les Snowbirds? C'est un icône canadien qui est reconnu d'un océan à l'autre, au Québec en particulier. Chaque année, on vit des démonstrations de snowbirds, que ce soit dans différentes villes du Québec. Quand j'étais jeune, j'avais 5 ans, je voyais les snowbirds. Puis qu'est-ce que ça faisait, les snowbirds? Ça nous faisait rêver, comme Canadiens, mais aussi comme recrutement pour les forces canadiennes. J'ai servi 22 ans les forces canadiennes. À l'époque, quand j'étais jeune, je voulais être pilote. Pourquoi? Parce que tu vois des démonstrations de snowbirds, tu disais, j'aimerais ça faire ça. Bien, ça faisait rêver les jeunes. Ça permettait d'avoir des gens qui voulaient s'enrôler dans les forces canadiennes. Je n'ai pas été pilote, je n'ai pas pu le faire, mais ça m'a amené quand même à m'enrôler dans les forces canadiennes parce que le goût de servir, le goût aussi amené par une équipe comme les Snowbirds. Au-delà de ça, c'est le symbole, l'unité. Quand on parle de symbole iconique, un symbole qui unit tout le monde. C'est rare d'avoir un symbole. Parfois, au Canada, on a différentes perceptions, mais quand tu parles des Snowbirds, tout le monde s'entend. Tout le monde est heureux de voir un spectacle des Snowbirds. Les enfants, les adultes, les Québécois, les Canadiens partout à travers le pays. Et c'est pour ça qu'on ne comprend pas pourquoi ce programme-là, actuellement, et on n'a pas de détails, et c'est pour ça qu'on est ici aujourd'hui, ce programme-là risque d'arrêter l'an prochain. Et on entend parler pour 5 ans, mais sachant comment ça fonctionne avec le gouvernement libéral, on peut s'attendre que si ça l'arrête, ça ne reviendra jamais. Et on ne peut pas accepter de perdre l'escadrille des Snowbirds. C'est un icône canadien qui fait l'unanimité et on a besoin de réponses, ça presse, parce qu'on ne veut surtout pas que ça arrête. Et également, dans les équipages de Snowbird, on a eu le colonel Carmichael, une Québécoise qui a commandé l'escadrille il y a 2 ans. On a d'autres Québécois qui en font partie. C'est vraiment ce qui nous unit le plus, je crois, comme symbole canadien. Et c'est très important qu'on ait une réponse des libéraux à savoir pourquoi ils veulent arrêter le programme et sinon, quelles sont les vraies intentions. Merci.
Okay, I'm going to start with Australia is now flying a propeller plane for its air demonstration team. This is the same type of plane, I believe, the Swiss one that we are buying for our trainers. Is that acceptable to you?
We're a G7 nation. We need jets. We need to inspire people, and the vastness of our country, in my opinion, would be that we would replace replace the aging Tudors with jets. And we had perfectly good jets with the Hawk trainers, and those were cannibalized. I don't think, with all due respect to the Australian Air Force, I don't think that having propeller airplanes are going to inspire Canadians as much as jets. Jet noise is the sound of freedom. So that's what we want to hear above our skies in North America and Canada.
You also have been very clear about military spending and the cost of things to get, let's say, 12 to 16 new trainer jets. That's at least a couple $2 billion. Are you okay with that?
Well, here's the thing. We need those jets. We're proud. We're a proud nation of the British Commonwealth Air Training Program, and we're spending money in other countries to train our pilots. That's unacceptable. We should be repatriating that money. That should be spent in Canada. We should have new jets, new trainers, And that's part of our training program. We have been waiting for a contract to be signed. That's not happened. It's time to get the ball rolling. It's time to pick up the pace here and get the Liberal government moving here so that we have got a fully functioning military.
Why today? We've discussed this. We've known, you've known, I've known that this has been kicking around out there. Why are you out here today doing
Well,
this?
that's a very good question, and I'm glad. Well, the trigger is tomorrow is the acceptance show of the Snowbirds out in Comox. And the pilots and the service personnel, the team, they don't know where their future is. And they deserve to know because they are serving our country. And, it's unacceptable to them, to their families, to not have a plan. They should have a plan. And honestly, it's time to keep the Snowbirds. We've got to bring some light to this. We've got to bring attention to this. And this is the right time to do it.
In your view, if we allow the fleet to be grounded... Vas-y, Jay.
Sorry. Vas-y, vas-y.
Possible de comprendre qu'est-ce qui vous fait dire aujourd'hui, justement, que les Snowbirds vont rester au sol indéfiniment s'il y a une pause?
Bien, parce qu'à chaque fois qu'un dossier qui est géré par les libéraux, ça finit mal. Ça, à partant, on a toujours un doute, c'est clair. Puis d'arriver avec un programme comme ça qui roule depuis 55 ans, de le mettre sur pause en disant on va revenir dans 5 ans, on ne croit pas à ça. Honnêtement, là, on aurait besoin de... Et parce que là, on arrive aujourd'hui devant vous, mais on a posé des questions. Au niveau du Sénat, il y a des questions qui ont été posées. Au niveau aussi de mon collègue qui s'occupe de la Défense, il y a des lettres qui ont été envoyées au ministre de la Défense. On a posé des questions. On a cricket. Pas de son, pas d'image. Donc, à partir du moment où on n'a pas de réponse, qui pourrait être une réponse très simple, on a de sérieux doutes. Et c'est pour ça que j'ai mes collègues de Saskatchewan, parce qu'il faut savoir que l'escadrille est basée à Moose Jaw, en Saskatchewan. C'est pour ça que j'ai le caucus Saskatchewan avec moi. Et on a de sérieux doutes sur l'intention du gouvernement. Et c'est pour ça qu'on demande au gouvernement de donner des réponses claires.
So, in your view, if we allow the fleet to be grounded, what message is it sending, and is it the wrong message?
Well, it is definitely the wrong message. As I said, we're being challenged on our identity, and this is the time to be proud of who we are. You know, we like cold beer here. We like maple syrup, and we put gravy on our fries and cheese. So, we're uniquely Canadian, and the Snowbirds are uniquely Canadian, and this is the time that we should be flying our symbols and holding close to our hearts things that define us as Canadians. And the Snowbirds have been great ambassadors of Canada, of our Canadian culture. They are iconic. They should not be grounded. This is the time we should be flying, and it shows who we are. It unites us as a nation, and we need that now more than ever.
Si je peux me permettre, est-ce que selon vous, Montréal est un moins bon choix pour la Banque de défense parce qu'il y a des risques de référendum?
Bien, encore une fois, là, ce genre de menaces-là viennent dans un contexte de référendum possible, de menaces séparatistes. Et on l'a vécu ça en 1980-95. C'est pour ça que nous, on blâme toujours les libéraux, parce qu'à chaque fois qu'il y a le gouvernement libéral en place, il y a des mouvements séparatistes qui augmentent, comme au Québec et on voit en Alberta actuellement. Donc, ce qu'il faut, c'est de garder ce genre d'investissement-là au Québec. Il faut baisser la menace séparatiste, et c'est pas avec les libéraux que ça va arriver. C'est toujours quand il y a un gouvernement conservateur en place, comme à l'époque de Stephen Harper ou dans le temps de M. Mulroney, on a une capacité à travailler en collaboration avec les provinces et non pas à imposer nos visions.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Renan, should we be worried about hantavirus spreading amongst the general population?
So my role is to ensure that Canadians abroad, and in this case the Canadians that are en route to Tenerife, are provided with the consular services following health and public safety protocols while the consular officials are providing those services. In terms of the public health issues within Canada, those are questions for the health minister, Minister Michel, and today we put out a statement, and I'm sure she will welcome your questions.
Madame, s'il vous plaît, sur votre rôle.
Pour moi, comme la ministre des Affaires étrangères, le rôle est de s'assurer que nous sommes là pour les Canadiens, Canadiennes, avec les services consulaires. Et ça veut dire nous avons des services, l'appui nécessaire pour les Canadiens sur le bateau maintenant. Mes fonctionnaires vont être en Espagne quand le bateau va arriver là. C'est nécessaire aussi de suivre les protocoles et mes officiaux vont s'assurer qu'ils vont le faire. Mais pour les questions sur la santé publique, ici dans notre pays, ça c'est le domaine de la ministre Michel et nous avons déjà publié aujourd'hui une déclaration et peut-être vous pouvez le lire et le partager aussi. Merci beaucoup.
Is the government doing enough to get big projects going?
Say that one more time?
Is the Carney government doing enough to get big natural resource
No, they've been really good at making announcements, but where's the projects? We're still looking for it. We got to get it done. It's about national unity now.
Moving fast enough on big projects?
No, they're not. Yes, sir.
Good point. What would it do to get big projects moving faster?
Get the red tape and regulations out of the way. Like, they're going to talk about these things, but unless they get the tanker ban gone, no pipeline spill gone, the industrial carbon tax gone, nothing's going to get built. And that's very clear from the proponents. They will not come to Canada if there's no clear path to approval. Till those things are gone, nothing's going to get built.
What does the government do to get major projects through faster?
I think the economy, the way it is, we need to take some action, and I definitely support the government on that.
Anything? Have you got any concrete ideas on how they should get projects through faster?
Well, I think we still need to go through the process of consultation. We also still have to make sure that the environment impacts are taken care of, and I just have to wait and see what the legislation says.
Okay, thank you very much.
Contre Montréal, dans le dossier de la Banque de la Défense.
Non, je crains pas ça.
C'est une raison pour laquelle Montréal serait un moins bon choix? Un risque de référendum?
Bien sûr que non. Bien sûr que non.
C'est pas un facteur?
À mon avis, c'est pas un facteur du tout. Quand même, on est dans une démocratie. Les gens peuvent voter jusqu'à nouvel ordre.
In English, sir. What can the government do to get major projects moving faster?
What we can do, I think that very, very soon, I'm not privy to all those details, but very, very soon, the Prime Minister will announce a number of measures to precisely do that, to accelerate the process.
Do you think legislation of that sort is needed around that?
We'll see. It will be announced very soon.
Let's go, Mr.
Okay,
Leitão.
thanks.
Possible, le référendum au Québec, ça fait de Montréal un moins bon choix pour la Banque de la Défense?
Ben, je pense pas que les Canadiens, les Québécois, certainement pas veulent un référendum au Québec. Et donc, ça, c'est votre réponse.
Pas de la Banque de peur de Toronto?
There's been some concerns raised that the committee studying MAID is not being balanced, that it's biased towards witnesses and membership that is against the expansion. As the chair, what do you say about that?
I totally reject those accusations. There is a process for selecting witnesses for committees that's well established, whereby each member gets to put forward names at the beginning as to who they would like to be as witnesses. And then every member of the committee is apportioned a certain number of witnesses. So we went through that process. Those names went before the subcommittee. The subcommittee was agreed upon by the committee. The subcommittee approved it, the list of witnesses. And then the list of witnesses went to all the members. And then it was also approved by the general membership of the committee. So afterwards, to come back and complain about the process and it was somehow biased, there was plenty of opportunity in the process to have objected. And if some people didn't do their job at the time and look at the list of witnesses and objected at the time, that's their problem.
Okay, and what do you make of the fact that the concerns about the membership itself of the committee? Like you're the co-chair and you've been clear in the past about your opposition to the expansion. What do you make of that?
Well, it was for each party to choose who to have on the committee. Right. And so that was done. I mean, we're the elected representatives. We, the Liberals, the Conservatives, chose who they wanted on the committee. That's the democratic process. The senators choose who they wanted.
Is there a foregone conclusion on what the committee is going to decide? Is that
What do you make of people saying that? There isn't a foregone conclusion. I think all of us realize that this is a serious matter. There are really two sides to the argument, and that I think we've all conscientiously listened to both sides. Yes, I, like most people, come into the process with some, in my mind, useful baggage on the issue. But I think we all have dutifully listened to both sides, and then it's for the committee as a whole to make a decision.
There are thoughts that, unrelated, that the Snowbirds might be cancelled next year. Do you think it's a Canadian institution that should be saved?
At what cost? So, I mean, yeah, it's a Canadian institution. It would be sad to see it go, but I'm not sure how much it costs for the Snowbirds. And I mean, what are we all compromising? I mean, we've only got a limited budget. So would I say absolutely no way? Cancel the Snowbirds? I wouldn't say that, but I would like to see it continue. I mean, if there were real good reasons and cost reasons why they couldn't. Okay.
Have they not been a good representation of Canada abroad? A good symbol?
So. I think so, yes.
So are they worth saving?
Oh, they're worth saving, but you know, there's a lot of things that we're saving. It's like there's always a cost-benefit analysis. So.